Let your desires flow into your life. This is part 5 of The Awakening of Humanity. I'm Brian Withers, empowerment coach, trainer, and author. Well, this really is the awakening to become aware that the things that we want, the kind of life we want, whatever that is that it's all about flow. It's flowing into your life. There's nothing to get. It's all about the cycle of allowing the flow. And the flow is that in our physical world, we have the contrast. That's the wanting, the asking. Our inner being sets it up as a vibrational reality instantly. And then there's the path to receive it. But we haven't been receiving it because of our understanding of life, the thoughts that we think, a lot of it's low vibration. And it interferes with that stuff naturally flowing. See, if we stayed in our high vibration frame of mind, it would go from contrast to expansion on the path in our daily life, in our physical life. And that's the joyous expansion. That would just continue to happen over and over. And there's lots of action and mental thought, and we use everything, a lot of activity. And the cycle just keeps going around and around, and it makes for a very joyous, expanding life. That's the fundamental impulse of the universe, joyous expansion. But what has happened is, and what I'm covering here in these parts of this series, is what we've done to the flow. This happens, the contrast happens, inner being sets it up, vibrational reality, that happens, path is there, that's all happening. But what we're doing in our human self is we're offering this low vibration energy that's clogging the pipe, and the stuff can't flow to us. And then what do? Oh, we're going to make it happen. We're going to figure out a technique. And it used to be physical things that we would do, but now with a little information about law of attraction, vibration, energy, we're going to find a way to use that to get the things. And that's a complete misunderstanding, which I'm going to cover in this video, because I've covered so far in this series, I've covered several areas where we develop faulty beliefs and clog up that pipe. And it's money, religion, medicine, education, responsibility, self, and death. Think about that. That's what I covered so far. That's 7 areas, and we've got faulty beliefs going on in all of those areas, and I got 3 more to cover in this video. But even so far as what I've covered, you can see clearly that this pipe is jam-packed with being clogged up that doesn't allow our desires to flow. So that's what I'm teaching. I'm teaching alignment. I'm not teaching manifestation. I'm not teaching how to get things. I'm teaching how to live your natural life. Think your natural thoughts. Go through your day in the natural ways of expressing yourself, enjoying your gifts and talents, knowing your worthiness, knowing the wonderful setup of this universe and how it all works, so that all the faulty beliefs go away, and then the pipe clears up, and then everything starts to flow down the pipe to you in your physical life. It's effortless. Manifestation is effortless. It's just a natural thing that happens when you unclog the pipe. So that's what I'm teaching. Unclogging the pipe. And when we do that, then we receive naturally and automatically all those things that we want. But we've been doing this. We've been putting plenty of this stuff in there because we've been without the knowledge of life. We've not been educated on the creative process. And of course, all kinds of crazy things, ridiculous things have filled in. And I covered a lot of that stuff in those topics that I've already covered in the previous parts of this series. And you can just see the amount of faulty beliefs that we have to deal with. So part of what I teach people to do is keep that daily emotion tracker. So as you go through your day, if you come across negative emotion, that means you've got a thought that's out of alignment. Well, that thought is really rooted in a faulty belief. So what I say is keep a list of your faulty beliefs, and then have a way to deactivate and deconstruct the faulty belief and reconstruct the natural belief. And as you track the progress of your deconstruction of those and the reconstruction, then you get back into your natural high vibration conscious mindset and your subconscious mind. And that is when all these blockages get out of the way, and then your life starts to flow. So that's what I am teaching. I'm teaching alignment because alignment means flow. Alignment means high vibration. Alignment means you're living your natural life. And we don't think about getting things. We just think about the fun and the joy of the receiving of the path and of the desires. It's about receiving. Okay, so with that being said, let me just cover these last 3 topics that have introduced faulty beliefs into our subconscious. And that is the one about working hard. And we get information that says to us when we grow up, you got to pay your dues. You got to put some blood, sweat, and tears into this if you want anything out of it. You got to earn your place in life. You got to have a little bit of suffering. No pain, no gain. Okay, so that's all the faulty beliefs that come up because we don't understand the creative process. And we think it's all on us. We got to do it all. But it's not that at all. We got our inner being and all the resources of the universe. So what we have is, let's see, where do I have that image? Okay, over here. So we have this creative process all working for us. Everything, all the elements of the creative process of this universe working for us to make it a very pleasant, easy, effortless, enjoyable receiving of the things that we want. And again, action is a big part of it. We're in a physical body, a physical world, and action is a big part of this process. But it's inspired action, it's good feeling action, it's synchronized action, it's action that feels good. And that is a very different life from this working hard paradigm that we grow up with. So we want to stop doing that, and we want to get to our natural life of receiving, of being in a high vibration, going through our day and focusing in positive feeling ways, feeling good about our dreams that are on the way, feeling good about the things that are in our life, positive aspects, appreciation, favorite things, making the best of things. All the things that I say in these videos that allow you to look at any given thing in your day, any topic in your life, and see the positive side of it, how it's serving you. It's always there. The creative process shows us very clearly how any given situation is serving us. And so as we are there, then life turns into the receiving in joyous ways versus the making it happen and getting burnt out and getting grumpy and grouchy because life is not the way you want and thinking it's unfair and all those kinds of things, and to allowing it to flow. So there again is some faulty beliefs that we want to pull out of the flow so that we can allow those things to come into our life, and we're not thinking about working hard. Now, you might work with a lot of effort and many hours, but it's not struggle work. Let's be clear about that. It's joyful work. So you could work hard. You could put a lot of energy into something, and you could say, well, I'm working hard, meaning I'm applying myself with a lot of effort, but I could be feeling good at the same time. So that's a very different thing. Okay, so the next one is manifestation techniques, energy, that whole understanding. See, the understanding of energy, this universe, our energy self, it really didn't come in as an education, as a full education. Here, take this course on the way life works and how this energy universe works and how we are energy beings and all that. It didn't come in as a course we could take. It just came in through a discovery process of many, many people that have been evolving it over the years. And so from that evolution, a lot of faulty beliefs come out of that evolution. But now we have the creative process. So we do have the whole picture of how it all works together. Again, and that is what I talk about in my book of life. But the very easy understanding is our mind and our heart work together. And our mind thinks the thoughts, and our heart tells us what the frequency of it is. Negative emotion is low vibration, and positive emotion is high vibration. So we know in every given moment what signal we're sending to the law of attraction. And clearly, if it's a low vibration signal, the law of attraction, being the energy manager of the universe, asks no questions. It will just hook you up to things that take you to the train wreck if you're offering it low vibration, and it will take you to your dreams and desires if you're offering it high vibration. And it's very simple. And if we want to dig into that and just go a little further, then the full process is the contrast of life, the natural asking from the things that we don't like. Our inner being sets it up. That's all automatically happen. And then here is the part where we're thinking that relates to that part 3 is this part here. Okay, so we're doing that supplying of energy to law of attraction, whatever it is we're receiving. Could be the train wreck, could be the dreams and the desires. We get to decide right here. So that's it. Anything else that you hear about energy really is just a distraction and a complication of it and a misunderstanding. So let's just talk about a few terms. How do I raise my vibration? You don't raise your vibration. You're born high vibration, and it stays up until you pull it down with thoughts that are out of alignment. They don't feel good, when you're pulling it down because you feel negative emotion. Stop doing that. And then your life is high vibration, and this pipe would be clear, and you'd be receiving everything you want just by going through your day feeling those thoughts that are in alignment, which means they're going to be feeling good, and that's your high vibration. So you don't raise your vibration, you stop pulling it down. Law of assumption, you don't have to assume anything because it's done. So your inner being, once you ask for it in this physical world of contrast, and that's the asking, your inner being sets it up. It's a done deal. It's for sure. It's certain. Totally done. There's no assuming that it's done. There is the knowing that it's done. So we want to move past any kind of assumptions with the full out knowing, okay? How do I manifest? Well, that question is going back to how do I get what I want? I'm going to do something to get it. So that's a vibration of lack. And it's not about the natural flow of life. So it's a misunderstanding to think that we have to do something to get something. Now we're just thinking we got to use energy to get it. And we don't do that at all. We're not using energy to get anything. We're just feeling good because feeling good is our natural way of living because we know the creative process so unconditionally. We know how good we are, how good life is set up. And so we're just really in a state of expectation of the goodness flowing to us. We're not thinking about getting things or manifesting things. A term called the terror barrier, which one time I seen, which was about you got to experience a little bit of discomfort or maybe a lot of discomfort in that last piece where you receive the desire that you have. And of course, that's just a misunderstanding. Our inner being sets a path that is very comfortable and enjoyable all the way through to the receiving. Chakras, well, your energy is your thought energy. Your heart tells you, your emotions tell you what it is. And if you get that in alignment, you're going to really be at your high vibration. And so that's the energy you really, really, really want to pay attention to and make sure that is in alignment. Terms like transurfing reality, parallel universe, just more terminology, people trying to find a way to describe life, but it's just this very beautiful, beautiful, simple process, the creative process, asking, creating, which are done automatically for us, no effort there at all. And then there's the thought choice, which we do in part 3, and that signal goes to the law of attraction, and depending on what it is, that's what we receive. It's no more complicated than that. And in fact, there is no complication to the creative process. It's about as easy to understand as anything you'll ever see in your life, and it's easy to learn, and it's easy to live if you just let go of the faulty beliefs around the way that this universe works. And people ask, how can you feel good all of the time? Well, when you understand this creative process, it's absolutely, you can see how natural and easy that is. And so you can see we want to clean up any low vibration, faulty beliefs around energy, just to get those that resistance out of the pipe so we can get the flow. And it's really interesting, the energy misalignments, the faulty beliefs around energy, because the very thing that we want to use to have the things that we want, we're actually using it in a way that prevents us from having what we want. So it's a misuse of the understanding of energy, and the creative process will set you straight really quickly and get you back in alignment there. So the last one is spirituality. That was always a word that was kind of like, it just covered something that wasn't physical, something that was out there. Was it our soul, or many words have been used to talk about spirituality, but really we have a nice clear understanding now, right? So like an iceberg, we lived in the physical world, and it's like, okay, there's something going on underneath there, but we're not quite sure what it is. We don't know how to define it or understand exactly what's happening, but we've got it now. The creative process tells us all about all of that non-physical energy that's going on in the non-physical realm. The law of joyous expansion, the law of attraction, our inner being is there, thought energy, vibrational reality, the path that takes it from non-physical into physical. And everything is very explainable now. There's no need to talk in general terms anymore. We can talk in very specific terms about the physical realm and the non-physical realm. And the creative process gives us all of the definition of all of that stuff, so we can be very comfortable and talk about life both in physical and non-physical terms. So that clears up any more faulty beliefs around that topic. So that wraps up this 5-part series on the awakening of humanity. It's the awakening to how all of this works in terms of this energy universe, and how easy it is and how joyous it's set up to work for us, which is very different than, as you've seen from the faulty beliefs that I went through here. We don't get that idea. And even now, as people are watching this video series, it could feel really odd to think that, to hear somebody say life is really joyous and easy and fun and all set up to be good, because you look at your life and you look across the planet and you say, well, it doesn't look like that, and why hasn't it been like that? And the reason it isn't like that and hasn't been like that is for everything I just described and talked about in these 5 parts. So if you ever want to, anybody's questioning any of that, send them over, have them watch these 5 parts, and they'll have a very clear understanding about why their life is the way it is, why this planet is the way it is, and what we do to get everything back in order. Because quite frankly, from a healthy body perspective, is there any effort to breathe air in and release air? You just breathe it in, nice deep breath, breathe it out. Breathe it in, breathe it out. And that is the simplicity of the creative process and living your life. Whatever you want will flow in, you experience, you use it, and you have asked for more, and that flows in, and you use that, and you ask for more, and it just keeps going and going and going. And it's all a good news story. There's no need for anything on this planet to be of any kind of nature other than this pleasant experience of the creative process. And all of the stuff that you see, all of the miserable stuff on this planet, the pain and the suffering and all the rest of it, every bit of it is because of what I explained in this 5-part series. Humanity has been asleep to the true way of life, of who we are, and the awakening is to understand the way life is, and that as we start to all bring ourselves back into alignment, the collective consciousness back into alignment, our planet and our life will then be the high vibration version that we came for. So that's the video for today, wrapping up this series. Thanks for listening in. If you have any questions, leave them on the post, and enjoy your day.